This video is to review Activity 15-1, Electrical Plans for Residential Building Project. For this activity, we're going to look at the Marseille Residential Building Plans. The first thing that we need to do is to locate what amp service would be provided to the main breaker panel, and then also note where the main breaker panel is located. So since we're talking about electrical, we're going to be looking at a plan view. So we're going to scroll down until we locate a plan. And remember, on residential, sometimes the electrical is overlapped with the floor plan if it is a small project. So I just want to scroll through and look at these floor plans really quick to see if I can't find electrical information. So I do see that the first floor plan has some electrical information on it. However, we're talking about the main breaker panel. It's probably not going to be located on the first floor since there is a basement. So I want to look down in the basement level here, and in the basement you can see that here is the breaker panel. It's located and it's a 200 amp service. So make sure for your homework you answer both questions. It's a 200 amp service. It's on the right side of the house on the basement wall, and then take a screen capture of of that information. So the second question says, where are the smoke detectors located on each level? So where are the smoke detectors in the basement, the floor plan, and the second floor? So let's start with the basement. Smoke detectors in the basement are indicated by SD. This also says see note number 1. If we scroll down on the drawing, up and to the left on the drawing, you'll see foundation notes, and note number 1 says smoke detectors to be wired into the house, current with battery backup, interconnect, so if one sounds, they all sound, typical at every floor and each bedroom. So this happens in a lot of newer construction. You may notice this, but the smoke detectors are all wired together. So if one battery dies in one of the smoke detectors, all of them go off sometimes, or one of them will start beeping and then it will cause a chain reaction. Even though that they are hardwired to the house, they still have to have a battery backup. So if that battery dies, it still causes them to beep. So anyway, going back to the plan view here, you can see that the smoke detector is located at the bottom of the stairs. So make sure that you try to describe the location, and then I took a screen capture so I could see the stairs and the smoke detector. Now let's look at the first floor. When you're thinking of smoke detector placement in houses, there's a requirement actually, and it is required that there's a smoke detector inside of every bedroom and outside of the bedroom in the hallway. Smoke detectors are not required in kitchens or near kitchens, for the reason that sometimes you burn some stuff in a kitchen and it would just constantly be going off. They're required in bedrooms because you're asleep most of the time in the bedroom, so if there was a fire, you would need that noise to wake you up. So right now you can already see that there's a smoke detector in the master bedroom and there's one outside in the hall. So that's one location on the first floor. If we continue our journey on through the rest of the rooms, if you look in the great room, you're going to notice that there is not a smoke detector located in the great room. Again, this is kind of like a temporary space. You're in and out of here. You're not sleeping in here typically. And then the dining room, there's also not a smoke detector located, and there's definitely not one in the kitchen. So then if we come over to the other side of the house and we look in this hallway, there's not a smoke detector over here in this hallway, or in the closet, or in the laundry room. So on the first floor, it appears that we only have a smoke detector inside of the master bedroom and outside in the hallway. Then the third question, or part C, asks about the smoke detectors on the second floor. So let's go to the second floor plan. So similar to the first floor, you're going to find smoke detectors in the bedrooms on the second floor and outside in the hallway. So you can see in this bedroom, smoke detector. In the hallway, there's a smoke detector. In this bedroom, there's a smoke detector. If we look through the rest of the rooms, actually, there are no more rooms, because if you can see that this just says that there's trusses, so that means that this space, the great room, is open to above, and then if we scroll over more, we see the top of the roof. So over here, we just have smoke detectors in both of the bedrooms and in the hallway. Question 3 asks, what model is specified for the smoke detectors? So if we look at sheet 3, we see the electrical legend, which would have helped you earlier on too, because it tells you the SD indicates smoke detector, and this is a Kitty AC/DC direct wire, and then it gives the model number KN. You would list all that information out in your answer. Question number 4 asks, what kind of exhaust fan is specified for the bathrooms? So once again, we want to look at sheet 3 and look at the electrical legend. We see an exhaust fan indicated. We just want to make sure that this symbol is the one that's also in the bathrooms. So I'm going to scroll up and over until I see a bathroom. And you can see that the exhaust fan is located above the toilets. And this is pretty typical because you want to exhaust out the smells from a bathroom. So here's the exhaust fan, one of them in the bathroom over the toilet. And if we look in the other bathroom, the master bath, you're also going to see exhaust fan, again, over the toilet. And in this case, it's going to be near the shower because when you shower, it creates all that moisture in the air, and we want to suck that out of the space. Otherwise, that's going to get attached to the walls, and it's going to start seeping into the walls and generate mold. So if we look back down at our legend, it says that our exhaust fan is a NuTone 300 CFM. So those are the changes per minute of air, and that just means you get fresh air in there. Okay, and then it has a twin blower in the model number. So you'll write all that down. There's our answer for question number 4. Question number 5 says, what do the following symbols indicate? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that symbol legend. So 5A is a duplex receptacle. 5B would be a single pole switch. 5C is a ceiling fan, so it's ceiling fan 1 and ceiling fan 2. And D looks a little bit different because it doesn't have the box around it, but it's actually this exhaust fan symbol. So 5D is exhaust fan. I'll show you the answers for all those. So we've got duplex receptacle, single pole switch, ceiling fan, and exhaust fan. Question number 6 asks, what type of light fixture is specified for the front terrace entry light? Okay, to locate the answer to this question, we can stay on the first floor plan and we're going to look at the terrace. So again, you want to look at this electrical legend too so that you can know which one represents a light fixture. So we have light fixtures that look like this little sunburst. That's a ceiling mounted light fixture, and that's really the only light fixture that we see. So if you look at the terrace right here, you want to locate that symbol. So the symbol's right here on the terrace, and it says LF1. So we have to figure out what is LF1. So if you come down to the electrical legend, you see LF1 represents a Hampton Bay Cranbrook gilded iron lantern with the model number. So you want to write all of that down. Question number 7 says, where are the front terrace entry lights switched, and what else is also lit by this switch? So a terrace is just like a porch. So we look at these lights and then we follow this. This is representing like the electrical path, right? The connections. So we follow them until we reach a switch. So it goes to the porch light. We see that right there. And then it comes into the house, into the dining room, and it's located on a single pole switch. So that single pole switch, if we follow this electrical circuit here, is controlling the porch lights as well as the terrace lights. So the answer is on the dining room wall is where the switch is located, and it also controls LF number 3, the porch ceiling fixture. Question number 8 asks, how many lights are in the following rooms? So how many lights are in the kitchen? So you want to come over to the kitchen and just count the fixtures that you see. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights that are inside the kitchen, and the kitchen is just inside this area right here. How many are located in the garage? So I'm going to locate the garage, and there are 1, 2 lights in the garage. And in your screen image, try to show the name of the room and then the lights. And then how many lights are located in the master bath? Okay, so the master bath has 2 lights above the tub, and then it has a light above each sink. You can see it here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that are located in the master bath. Now, some of you may have also counted the light that's in the little toilet room, and if you said 5, that's okay. What type of light fixture is specified for the dining room, and how is it switched? So I'm going to go into the dining room. You can see there's a light fixture LF4, and then I want to come down to my light fixture schedule, and it says LF4 is Thompsonville Lighting, and it tells you it's a chandelier. So it tells you information about that. You want to write all the information out. And then the second part is how is it switched. So we're going to go back to the dining room, and you're going to follow these lines. So we have one single pole switch that's on the wall on the left side of the wall, and then we have another switch that's located on the right side of the wall. So the reason it's located in two spots is so that you could turn it on and off from each one of those locations. So say you're bringing food from the kitchen to the dining room and you want to be able to flip the switch so you can see, you would hit this switch right here. Say you're done eating and you want to go into the great room, you've cleaned off the table, you could flip the switch right here. Okay, let's take a look at question number 10. So the first question asks, what type of fixture is specified for the garage car door lights? So what's a garage car door light? And it's a really weird way of wording the lights outside of the garage door. So it's pointing to these two lights. So we have LF2. You're going to go down to your electrical legend, look for LF2, and then note that type of light. And it says how many are there? Well, how many LF2 lights are there? So there's one here, and then you have to look around the rest of the drawing. There's also one located off the kitchen, the back door in the kitchen. And actually, I believe if you look at the schedule, no, sometimes they put the quantity down here. So, and that's not the case. You have to go around and count all of them. Okay, so we've got 3 of those lights and show those locations with screen captures. And then question 11 asks, how many ceiling fans are there in the house? So to answer this question, you have to know that this is the symbol for ceiling fan. There's one in the great room, one in the master bedroom, and then if you look upstairs, there are none upstairs. So the answer is 2. So we're going to answer 2 and show those locations with the screen capture. And then it says, what are their specifications? So to answer this question, we're going to scroll down to our electrical legend, and you're going to write down the 2 model numbers that you see here. Those would be the specifications. So don't confuse this with the actual specifications that we talked about, like the separate specification book. It's a little bit different because we're looking at residential drawings. Sometimes this information is written right on the drawings. Sometimes it's a separate document. Still, for these residential drawings, there would be some sort of manufacturer's information on this light fixture, or the ceiling fan, saying how it should be installed and some other information. In our homework, when it says specifications, it just wants to know the specifics of that material or product or whatever it's asking about. Okay, so you'll write down that information and then you'll take a screen capture. And then question number 13 asks, what is specified for the electrical service for the clothes dryer? So I want to find the laundry room, which is going to house the dryer. And when it says the electrical service, if I zoom in, what it means is that I have to have a different type of outlet for the dryer because it's drawing so much electricity. If you look right here, you can see the duplex outlet, and then it says 220. So I need a 220 volt outlet. And they look a little bit different than a regular outlet. So I just did a quick Google search. You can see this is a regular outlet, but then this is the 220 volt, and you'll notice that it's a lot bigger and different looking. And again, that's because that dryer is drawing so much electricity. So you can see I wrote down that information, and then I took a screen capture showing the dryer and the 220 volt outlet. That is the end of exercise 15-1.